Hey guys, Jim Collector here. Thanks for stopping by to check out another review and unboxing video. Today we have something a little bit different. We have Dante as seen in Devil May Cry 5 by Asmus Toys. Now this is the first Asmus figure that I've ever owned, so I'm quite excited to get stuck in. Now this is a longer video than normal, so without further ado, let's get stuck right in and see what this guy's like. Alright, so today we're actually starting off with the shipper box in the unboxing segment of this video. Normally, obviously, we wouldn't include this. Hot Toys, there's never anything on the shipper box, just some basic stuff. But what I like about this Asmus figure for Dante is it actually has some detailing on it, which is quite nice. So obviously you can see the silhouette of Dante here, Devil May Cry. But what I love is this on the side here with the pizza slice. Similar to the logo, obviously we've got Dante Luxury Edition as well. Luxury Edition down the side, which looks quite nice. So yeah, I do like the effort that they put into this box. You've got some kind of extra information down here, which is a bit more similar to what we're used to seeing on the Hot Toys versions. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the difference here. It kind of gives it a nice premium feel, which I quite like. So we flip this open. Bosh. There we go. This obviously shows the box that Dante comes in. Dante? I think I'm saying it right. So we have this here, so I'll pop that to one side. But then you also get, and I believe this is what comes extra with the Luxury Edition, this accessory box. And again, and we'll go through the, we'll start on this box, I think. Love the detail on this. It looks very nice. Nice gold around the edges. You can see it says Devil May Cry along here. Nice shiny to it as well, which is good. Down the side, looks a bit like a book, like an old style, old fashioned book, which I really like. Here, obviously you can see his sword. It's been a minute since I've played Devil May Cry. For the series, I was big into the first game. Didn't really follow it until Devil May Cry 4 again. So I'm not gonna know all the names of all the different weapons. So forgive me on that, guys, but I love Dante as a character, so I just thought this would be a good thing to pick up. On the other side, it is the same, and that's pretty much all there is to it. If we flip this on open, there we go. You can see all the different bits and pieces right here. Oh, it's got that nice plastic smell. There we go. So you can see all the extra stuff that this version comes with, which is quite nice. Kind of a soft plastic on these, which is quite interesting. So we've got these two pieces first. Again, forgive me, I'm not sure exactly what these are called. If I do find out, I'll go through later on in the video and I'll let you guys know. But nice detail in it. You can see the devil eye right in the middle there, which is pretty cool. The paint apps are nice. It's got, again, that nice metallic sheen to it, which looks really good. So these are nice accessories. Not sure what these are, I'm not gonna lie. I can't even get it out of the box. This is probably some sort of something you use to attach these, because that's obviously a magnet, so that's fine. These are the extra gauntlets here as well. I believe they're gauntlets, or are they for the feet? They actually might be for the feet, I could be completely wrong. No, they'll be gauntlets, because they'll go with this here, like so. So that kind of matches up like a pair, which is nice. Again, paint apps, very nice, good metallic sheen on these. And then you do have two of these boots as well, which I do remember from the game. Again, really nicely done. Really digging these, the demon eyes all over the place on these things. It really gives it that kind of demonic living feel. And of course, I want to say this is the Spada sword, so I might actually be correct on that, but this thing is absolutely sick. Look at that, it's huge. First of all, you can see the size of it. It's almost the size of an actual kitchen knife. It is plastic, so it's no die cast or any materials here. It is a bit bendy, which is good because it won't break as easy. It's heavy as well, so it's quite hefty. So it'll be interesting to see when we get to the posing segment how he holds this. But yeah, really nice details on this sword. Absolutely love it. So if you're thinking to pick this up, I definitely recommend getting the luxury version, just just for the sake of that, to be honest with you. All right, let's move that onto the side. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at Dante himself. Move that on over. And there we go. Again, really impressed. So I've never had an Asmus figure before, so this is my first one. I've only ever really had Hot Toys and third-party figures, so it's nice to see something that's not third-party, but from a different company, and also something especially well done. So obviously you can see Asmus Toys here, picture of Dante himself. This is a render from the game though, not a picture of the figure. Devil May Cry, Dante, 1/6 collectible, and you can see Capcom's logo down the side here. A little bit of a silhouette on the side, again, Asmus Toys, Dante, bit of the legal info on the back, and the Devil May Cry 5 logo on the side as well. And that's pretty much all she wrote. So let's flip him open. All right, so straight away you get this nice poster. That's a nice little addition, I really enjoy that. So this is also actually, from looking at it, this is a picture of the figure itself, not an in-game render. So that's really nice actually that they've included this. So I quite like that. Well done, Asmus. Like this as well. Again, they've really gone for a premium feel on this, which I wasn't quite expecting. I don't know much about this company. I know they've done some Lord of the Rings figures, which some of which look quite good, but I've never really paid much mind to Asmus, but I might have to going forwards now after this. So here we can see Devil May Cry, and it looks like this is numbered. It looks like this is numbered 0209. It says on there, so potentially maybe it is. But yep, nice little slip there. And then how many trays we got? So it is just one tray. Instruction manual in the bottom of the box there, which I might check out later. And there we go. There is Dante himself. Just going to zoom in a little bit. All right. So obviously he comes with quite a few things. So this is Dante. I've already taken off the plastic cover over his head so we can get a quick look at him. And the first in-hand impressions are quite positive. The figure has a bit of weight to it. The coat feels quite nice in hand as well, and the details look good, and the head sculpt is quite impressive. But for now, I'm just going to put him to the side, and we're going to have a look at all the things that come in this box, starting with the swords, because I love a good sword. All right, so this sword I remember quite well. This is, I believe, his main starter sword. I remember this from the game, especially the first game as well, but really like this. Again, look at the details here. Like, you can see the skull with the horns, the gaping mouth, the ribs and the spine coming down. The sword, again, is that soft kind of plastic. I don't want to bend that too much, but it has that nice metallic sheen. So at first, I almost thought this might be die cast. It's probably good that it's not, because it'll be way too heavy for him to hold. And the hilt is really lovely on this. Really nice hilt. So yep, we get this sword. Then we get a bigger sword as well. Please guys, put the names of each of these weapons in the comments below. Help me out, because I am coming up completely blank. I really like this actually. Again, this is nice. Definitely more of a demonic feel with the scale and the skin work down here. And then you've got a blade around the edges. It gives me kind of dragon vibes on this, with the different bits coming off the sides. And ooh, that ruby. That ruby is quite nice in the top. Yeah, very good. And of course you've got his two pistols down here. If I can get these out. Now I know the names of these. These are called Ebony and Ivory. There we go, bosh. Not a complete poser. So yes, I know the names of these two guns. Love these guns. I always thought they were really cool. The detailing here is very nice. You can see the picture here. To my phone will. There we go, camera's focusing. It says Devil May Cry along the side as well, which, as we know, was the name of his devil hunting business that he would run. And you've got a nice metallic bit just to the to that bit there as well. So yeah, these are really nicely done. Good paint apps on these. They really stand out as well. There's no movement on it. The clip doesn't come out. You can't cock the gun back or anything like that. But they are nicely painted, especially Ivory as well. Again, nice and metallic looking. Again, you can see the gold on the different accents here. some of the paintwork isn't quite 100% here, but that's looking at the really small details. So yeah, awesome pair of pistols. All right, so obviously we get an assortment of hands. I'm not really going to spend much time looking into these. Hands are hands. You've got a couple of shooting and then 2 sword holding hands, 1 for each side. What we do have though is the base. All right, so nice base. You can see a tile here. This isn't this is just a laminate type top, but I do like the detail they've put around the sides of it. You can see it in there. So quite nice feeling. I do like that it's round. I quite like a round base rather than a rectangular one. Although it does make it harder if you've got a display that's a bit where you want to put multiple figures. But I do 1 per shelf if I can, although I am running out of space. But one thing I like about this base is they've made the crotch grabber, and if you look at the details here, it kind of matches with the base. Like it comes as a matching, let's see if I can pop that in without breaking it. Comes as a matching set. So the detail here matches the rest of the base. And I think, although that's a tiny little, tiny detail, this is magnetic. It's just a nice attention to detail addition. The fact that this kind of works in with it as well. Oh, I seem to be missing one of the bits here. Interesting. I'll have to look at that later. But yeah, really like the base, and I like that the crotch grabber blends into the style of the base and isn't just your standard crotch grabber. All right, so gone through the swords. He does have some additional swap outs. Oh, bits flying everywhere. Arms. Okay, so if I unwrap these, might cut this bit out. All right, there we go. Yep, additional arms, double bended joint as well that you can swap out on the main figure. So you would just remove the coat and then remove the arms that are attached into here and then swap these out into it. Not 100% sure why these are included. Someone, if you do know, down below, let me know. But yeah, all right, what we're gonna do now, guys, is we're gonna do a few poses with this guy with different, and there's so many accessories with different swords, pistols, all kinds of stuff. And we're also going to take a closer look at the figure itself. Stay tuned. All right, and finally, here we have Dante himself. Now, first of all, we're going to have a quick look at the head sculpts, and I have to say, very impressed with this, considering A, it's a video game character, B, it's not, I've seen some Asmus head sculpts, and from what I can tell online, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but they're a bit hit and miss. But this, I would say, is more of a hit than a miss. The detailing on his 5 o'clock shadow is really nice. You can see the eyes kind of hidden there. The sculpt on the hairs, not the best, but I don't mind it. I think it's okay. It definitely suits the purpose. You can see the individual strands, and it's got that classic kind of grey hair color that he has. So yeah, nice head sculpt here. I think they did a bang up job. If we come down, we have a look at his jacket, his iconic long red jacket, and it is nicely done. I'm going to double check the materials on this, but there is a wire in the base of the jacket, which is good. So you can have some posing options there. So I like that they've included that. That will be really handy for some dynamic poses. He does have an undershirt here as well. And you can kind of get a look at the type of body they've used. So he's got a good bend up here and a good amount of movement through his waist, which is nice to see. Did not expect to be lifting his shirt up in this video. In terms of the joints, they feel quite stiff. Again, you can get some really good movement out of this, which makes sense for a character like Dante, because obviously he's a devil hunter. You know, he's going to be doing lots of fighting and acrobatics. Now, if we look down at his legs, we can see these boots. So it is, I'm going to say it's a split cut boot. So this isn't all one piece. You can detach the foot, and this is a separate piece up here as well, which allows for good range of motion on him. So he's got a bit of side to side on the ankle there, and of course good up and down motion as well. He doesn't have any movement through his toes, so that is going to be one downside to some of the more dynamic poses that we'll do. But again, like the detailing, like this, almost, it's all made out of plastic, but this almost looks like real leather work down here with real metal buckles. Obviously they're not. Again, they're all molded plastic. Now if we come up to his hands, he has these kind of, I don't know, wristbands up here that kind of go into his glove, which I quite like because it does help to hide that joint just ever so slightly. It kind of blends it in a little bit, so it's a bit harder to see, almost just like it's part of his glove. So I do like that they've done that. The actual detail on the glove itself, again, is nicely done. The fingers are pretty plain, but again, you can see all the folds and the gloves and stuff like that, the kind of dirt and scuff marks, so it is quite nice. Back of the jacket, nice detailing on the skull again here. Good stitching work throughout all of the shoulders and the pads on the sides as well. And the jacket itself just feels like a nice quality. I don't believe it's, is it leather? I don't think it's a leather. I think it's pleather. I'm going to double check that, but I'm trying to like judge by the feel. It feels kind of papery, so I'm going to say it's probably not leather. We'll have to find out. So maybe some concerns if it is pleather on how long this jacket will last for, but I guess time will tell. So yeah, first in-hand impressions are good, but I mean, we all know there's no use looking at a figure just like this, so we're going to whack him in some cool poses now, and we're going to see what he's like on the display. Catch you in a sec. Okay, so here we have the first pose in this series. This is a pretty standard casual pose, I'm going to say. He's got his sword resting up on his left shoulder, and he's got ebony equipped as well. It poses quite nice like this. If you want to go for kind of a basic non-dynamic pose, this is quite a good option to go for. I think it kind of captures the character from the game quite nicely. So next we're going to go on to a bit more of a dynamic pose though. Alright, so this is pose number 2, so a bit more dynamic, this one here. Now I'm not going to lie, this was difficult to get into this position. It took a lot of work to get the arms to stand, and also I found that although he's got a lot of good articulation, his trousers are a bit restrictive, so in terms of what you can do with his legs is a little bit limited. But I do quite like this pose. Obviously he's been using his sword, but then he switched into a gunfight as well, getting his sword up and out of the way on the shoulder. Looks quite nice. The coat, the wires work quite well here, so I've got them to flow out to kind of imitate motion. So yes, now we're going to check out what he's like with all of his armor on. Alright, so here he is kitted out with all of that demonic style armor. It was not easy to get those gauntlets on. The way you slide on the gauntlets, it seems like they don't fully go down the arms, so you have to really push hard to get those gauntlet pegs into the wrist pegs, and they're a bit loose on there. Now the shoulders, you have to insert magnets up onto underneath the coat for them to stick, and they stick kind of lightly. So he's not the most dynamic here. I've got him basically just standing up and down, but he looks pretty badass with this. Now it's all molded plastic, quite soft and rubbery, these pieces, so they're not too heavy, but they look really nice. I actually quite like this pose. So now on to our final pose. Alright, and here we have our final pose with Dante kitted out with all of his different swords, and I have to say I think this is probably how I'm going to display him in my display. I think he looks absolutely fantastic. So he's got the spider sword there on his back, the two larger demonic swords on each side there as well. Really like how this looks. It makes him look like the total badass that he generally is throughout the game. So my final review on this figure, it looks fantastic, but it does feel a bit cheap in some areas. For example, you can see the seam line on the larger sword there. I snapped 2 wrist pegs as well while trying to equip, especially that larger sword. They're a little bit weak. Also, he did fall over and I've got a little chip to the hairline, but other than that, well, that's user error to be fair, but other than that, on display he looks absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to give this guy a solid 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video guys, and I hope to see you again soon.